The private unmanned SpaceX spacecraft Dragon is clearing its last major hurdle before its historic docking attempt to the International Space Station tomorrow. I'm Wendy Bounds. Welcome to WSJ Lunch Break. We're going right now to Andy Pasztor. He is in Los Angeles. He has been covering space and aviation for the Wall Street Journal for more than 2 decades. Andy, a historic day today for Dragon, but the hardest part may still be to come.
Well, I would say it's a historic day. In fact, if you would compare it to something, Vice President Biden famously talked about a big deal about some other issue. This is a pretty big deal. We can't get ahead of the spacecraft, and we don't want to predict. Of course, you can never predict what happens in space. But the rocket and spacecraft that SpaceX has put up both of them have really done tremendously well. They've already cleared a number of major hurdles. They've, I think, done better than even the strongest champions of these projects would have predicted. And yes, you're right, the hardest test is still to come, Phil.
Describe for folks what exactly it was that happened today and why what happens tomorrow is even more important, Andy.
Well, what happened today was they tested the major systems on this spacecraft or capsule for the first time in space, which means navigation systems, propulsion systems, sensors to help guide the spacecraft as it comes closer to the space station, communication systems so that it can communicate with the ground and the folks on the International Space Station as it comes to try to berth. So all those systems have never been tested in space, and from what we can gather early on, it's still preliminary, they're still crunching the data, but everything seems to have worked almost flawlessly. They haven't identified any major problems so far.
And Andy, if this does prove successful, what will this mean in terms of a step forward for President Obama's push to outsource space exploration to private industry?
Well, I think this gives a tremendous jolt of adrenaline to that program, both from a political standpoint, a financial standpoint, and really a symbolic standpoint. And I really can't stress too much that in space everything is risky and nothing's done until it actually happens. But you're starting to hear in the voices of the NASA officials and the company officials much more confidence and really a lot of excitement about the fact that they really think that they will do this historic docking with the space station very early Friday morning.
And Andy, all eyes right now on the founder of SpaceX, Elon Musk. This is a big day for him. It's been a big event for him. He's been tweeting. He's been in correspondence by telephone with President Obama. What's next for him with this?
Well, I think that's a very hard question to answer, and I'm not going to try to predict what he will do next, but he certainly has been having fun. He's been the center of attention. He has to get the credit. He is not only the founder and chief executive of this company, but he is the chief designer of this rocket, and he really grew it almost from nothing, literally from a makeshift office with 5 or 6 people sitting next to him to this what is now a pretty sizable company in terms of startups in space, certainly, with 1,700 employees and over $1 billion in commercial satellite launches on the books. And so you're starting to see pretty interesting things like some of the NASA controllers who are usually very sober, talking about a very, very successful mission up to this point and almost predicting that they're going to be able to do what SpaceX will do, what it has said it can do on Friday.
And Andy, when is that docking? What time is that docking expected on Friday?
Before dawn, between around 5 or 5:30 tomorrow morning Eastern Time, and it will be broadcast on NASA's TV, just like other spacecraft dock at the space station. So it should be a very exciting and interesting day.
All right, Andy Pasztor will be coming to you more. He is our space and aviation expert here at the Wall Street Journal. Big day for space exploration. Thanks so much, Andy, for being with us. All right, well, I want you to forget the Wine and Cheese Club of the Month. They are branching out men's grooming products, craft supplies, you name it, you can get it. Who's going to tell us about it? Kelly Grant is. She's right here. She's from Smart Money. Hi, Kelly.
Hi.
So I can pretty much order anything and somebody will deliver it to me now monthly. It doesn't have to be wine.
At this point, pretty much,
yeah.
Yes. Could be just about everything. We're seeing a lot of different approaches that are coming up. Some of these are new categories, things like the men's grooming products, craft supplies actually is kind of a new one, ebooks even. And then we're also seeing some of them that are actually taking a different approach where it's something you might buy anyway, like shoes or jewelry, but you're kind of telling them these are my tastes, and they're letting you actually pick the product for that monthly delivery.
And celebrities getting into the game.
Yes, that's actually with a lot of these ones where they're kind of curated collections. Then we're seeing a lot with, Kim Kardashian, Christian Siriano, a lot of different celebrities and celebrity stylists that are actually coming in there, and they're saying that they're the ones that are picking these items.
I wonder what Kim Kardashian would pick for me. I don't know. We should try that out. All right, let's talk
that out.
about
Let me know.